There is a difference between broke and poor. I've been both a couple times, but I'll tell you this, I've been broke a lot more. Broke can be fixed. Poor is hard to fix. Broke is my bank account is empty and I have no money. Poor is a mindset. That's something that's really difficult to break. Now, so if you feel stuck, broke, like no matter how hard you work, you're just not getting ahead. Not because of bad luck. There's no such thing as luck. You make your own luck. It's not because of the economy, because in the lowest times of the economy is typically when the most millionaires are made. If you go study the Great Depression, you go study 2008, yeah, a lot of people lost a lot of money, but there's also a lot of people who made a lot of money. Look at the economy, what happened in 2020. Just myself alone had one business that just went down to nothing because they raided my gym. So you guys probably know that story. And then another one, we said we're going to skip COVID and we're going to go all in on this business and grow it. And we had a record-breaking year and it hasn't stopped since. Even in spite of, supply chain issues and whatever, we just figured it out. It's not because the system is rigged. It's not, there's no universal push against you, which I believed, which we'll get into. It's 100% your mindset. It's 100% on you. And the reality is, I know that's going to piss some people off, and that's okay. You can be pissed off, but you're your biggest problem. You're your biggest foe. You're your biggest enemy. It's you against you every time that you wake up and your feet hit the ground. If it does piss you off, good. Fire it up. Tell me why it pisses you off. Tell me all the reasons and the excuses of why you have it harder than me, or you have it harder than somebody else who pulls themselves up, gets educated, and fixes their system. And that's just it. It's a system. You can work hard, but with the wrong mentality about money and success and freedom and what your why and what you're moving for, you're going to lose. Now, once you start getting educated, financially educated, once you start changing your mindset and going like, hey, listen, I'm just broke. That's a temporary problem. But poor, that can be almost a permanent problem. I had to change that mindset to myself several times when I got depressed and down in the dumps, etc. I had to change that mindset and to go from, okay, I'm just broke. The universe is not out to get Nick. When I changed that, everything started. So I want to outline what you need to do and how do you change a poor mindset to a rich mindset and a free mindset and a one of infinite possibilities in the next 12 months. And honestly, I think it could happen even faster than that. Here's the difference. Here's the difference between a poor mindset and a wealthy or rich mindset. And if you recognize yourself in the wrong column, it's time to make that change, okay? A poor mindseted person, you're going to say, money is hard to make. When the reality is, money is everywhere. Money is absolutely everywhere. You just need the right strategy of how to attain it. Another one, rich people got lucky. I like people telling me that. Rich people got lucky or screwed people over. That is one of the most common themes that I will see people do or say, especially in comments. The reality is wealth is built. It is not given. And you could even make a bunch of money and still not build wealth because of your bad habits and et cetera, whatever. More money equals more problems. I feel like that's a very poor mindseted thing to say. The reality is money is nothing but a tool. It is a tool. That's not even fucking real, guys. Money is not even real. They just look at what our fiat currency is in the United States. They just print it. It's not backed by anything. They just print debt. It's not a real thing. And when you understand, when you change your mindset to where it's an infinite, money is an infinite game, it has infinite possibilities. You really look at it more as a tool than something else. So money is a tool for freedom. It's not a thing to stress over, even though it's not. If I just work harder, then I'll make more money. I've said this. This was like my core belief. Just work hard, grind hard, work harder, be the hardest working man in the room and just grind. And yet I was never getting anywhere. It wasn't until I go, okay, I need to make my money work for me. I need to have a profit first mentality, run the richest man in Babylon equation that we run in the Agoge and go, okay, this 1/10 is mine out the gate, and then I'm going to make that 1/10 make more money, is when things started to shift for me. And the last thing is, and everybody has said this, I'll start investing or saving when I have extra cash. Yet you never do. You never have extra cash, even though you might be making more money. So the reality is, wealthy or rich mindset is I invest in myself first. then I multiply my income. Out the gate, like I used to think that, again, I used to have to work harder and trade more time. So if I was somebody who coached me and said, hey, if you work an extra 20 hours a week, I will double your income. Cool. So now I'm at, say, 80 hours a week and I'm making, $150,000 a year. And then I come to you and I go, okay, cool. Now you're making $150,000 a year, you're working 80. I want you to work 100 hours a week. And then you're going to get $200,000 a year. At what point do you go, the amount of effort and work that I'm putting in is not worth the money that's coming in? Do you see what I'm saying? Like you're trading your time for your dollars. And that's what I thought that I had to do. I believe that I had to grind 24/7 was the only way to succeed. But the truth is, you don't get rich by working harder. You get wealthy by working smarter and by creating systems, right? And that's really where wealth is truly created, is when you start to multiply the dollars for themselves and you're making money while you sleep. My limiting belief was this. Limiting beliefs is everything. I believed I could achieve the same level of success as my peers. I just had to work 10 times harder. See? You see what I'm saying? Believed it. Told my wife that, told my coaches that, told everybody that. I'm like, this is just this is the hand that the universe dealt Nick. Guess what it did? I manifested my own reality. That's true. I manifested my own reality thinking that if I wanted to achieve the same level of success that other people did, I had to work 10 times harder than them for that same level of success. And then I made it true. And it wasn't until I realized that I had that infinite game that things started to open up. And I had to realize the universe was not out to get me. So you guys might think, you think money is bad. It's the root of all evil. It's not. It's just a tool. If you're an evil person, you're going to use it for evil reasons. If you are a good, wholesome person, then money is a tool that you will do good and wholesome things. I cannot wait to have even more money so that I can do more good and wholesome things for this world. It's just a thing. If you resent wealthy people, you will never become one. I want you to think about that for a second. Jealousy is a green-eyed monster. One of the biggest things that you can do when you see people that are more successful than you, or you see someone that achieves something. My wife said this in her book, How Not to Be a Miserable Cow, which you should buy that for your wives. Good luck on that outcome. But you should buy it. It's a phenomenal book. She said the only way to pierce that green-eyed monster right in its face is to say this: man, I'm so happy for them. And maybe you don't believe it at first, but over time you will. The more that you can say, I am so happy for them, for their success, for their win, the more that it'll come back on you. So don't resent people's success or their wealth. Be happy for them that they achieved it, because it wasn't easy to get. Money is just a tool. It's neither good or bad. We've said that before. You can't attract what you subconsciously hate. So if you hate money, you hate successful people, you will never attract that. You have to put that out there to the world. And what happens is when you change those limiting beliefs and you open up your heart to the infinite possibility of growth, you then realize that money is just a tool for freedom. It's not the enemy. And that's when I did that, that's when my finances changed. Second limiting belief: you believe you're not good with money. That might be true because of your bad habits. That's okay. Wealthy people, or people who became wealthy, right? The one that we talked about, the one that every family was essentially broke or poor up until one person came into the family and said, okay, I'm going to change things. I'm that person for my family. The future of my family will be drastically different from here on out. That person was not born with money. They learned, they got educated, and that's when things started to change for them. If you think you can't handle money, then you're never going to get more of it. If you can't handle it, you'll never get more of it. And that's where financial literacy is a freaking skill that anyone can develop. You're just programmed not to have it, and they don't want you to become financially literate because they want you to be a cog in the wheel. They don't want you to be a disruptor. They don't want you to break off from the herd. So most people say, hey, I'm not good with money. And that's not true. No, you're just uneducated about money. And that's a choice. That's being ignorant. That's being ignorant because you're making a choice not to become financially literate. The difference between poor and rich people, they learn. They learn how to grow their money. They learn how to manage it. They learn how to invest it. They learn how to replicate, multiply. And then the poor people, they're just going to ignore it. You think, number three, you think making money is hard. And initially, I can see how that is because I believe that as well. But the reality is, if you believe money is hard to make, it will be, just like it was for me. Like I manifested my own reality. Money is made by solving problems. The more complicated the problem, the more money you make for solving that problem. Think about solving, somebody has their grass cut, or grass is grown, they need it cut. That is a low level, that's a $20 an hour problem. But then when you start talking about like, how do I take this business that's making X money and then make it this much money, or if I got to solve a marketing problem, or if I've got to solve a psychology problem, or if I've got to fix a freaking heart as a heart surgeon, see how those problems, more complicated problems, the more they cost. Money is made by solving problems, not by working more hours. All right. That's that time and money thing. So you're going to have to rewire your mindset to see these opportunities. And again, I used to believe making 6 or 7 figures was nearly impossible. Once I started studying the high income skills, sales, branding, building my business, then taking the profits from those businesses and then investing them, not hoarding them, not buying flashy cars and a bunch of bullshit that you see people do on the internet, which, hey, all for them, man. If they're making that kind of money and they want to do that, I just personally prefer to make my money make more money. So I want to buy more real estate. I want to put more money into high value cash life insurance. I want to put it in the crypto, put it in the stock market, things that are going to multiply my income, right? Again, richest man in Babylon. How to build a rich, free mindset in the next 12 months. All right. So one, you're going to look at, you can Google this, you can use AI software, whatever it is, but you're going to look at really high income skills and you're going to start educating yourself on what those high skills are. So whether it's learning how to sell, I love this quote that if you learn how to sell, you'll never be broke another day in your life. And even if you did become broke, if you know how to sell, you're right back in the money again. It's a very unique skill on how to sell something. So if you know how to sell, you know how to market, you know how to invest or do business development, these are skills that are going to be equal income. And the better that you are at those skills, the more money that you're going to make. So then you got to start applying those skills. This is where the execution comes into play. You have to start applying those skills so that they increase the cash flow immediately. And again, guys, wealthy people are not out there working hourly jobs. Like I don't have a quote unquote 9 to 5. I have a life. And yeah, do I work? Sure. But I don't clock in and clock out. I have a life that I've built that I leverage my unique ability, my zone of genius to make the things that I do produce income. You cannot save yourself to wealth. You have to stop saving and you got to start investing. I mean, I cannot tell you that enough. Let me just break this down for you. Say you save $20,000 into your shoebox or your savings account, whatever you put it. That $20,000 in a year is no longer worth $20,000. Hear me out. Because if last year you had $20,000, would that $20,000 buy you the same amount of house that it would today or next year or the year after? No, because of inflation. So your money saving is actually losing its value over time. And yeah, you can put another grand in there, another $5, $10, $100, whatever it is that you're putting in there, but it still will not catch up with inflation. The only way to get wealthy is investing. Your money needs to be growing while you sleep. So reinvesting your money into your business, into your education, into assets, because saving it is not going to make it happen. All right. And there's nothing that drives me more crazy when I hear people like got 20 grand or 30 grand sitting in a shoebox. I'm like, oh my God, well, it was 30 grand. Now it might as well be 15 grand. Build multiple income streams. When 2020 happened, thank God that I became financially illiterate years before that, because I had multiple businesses. I had multiple income streams happening all at the same time. So when I lost a couple income streams, it wasn't the end of the world for me. And I remember watching this, and I remember having employees that worked for me on those particular businesses, and we had to solve some problems for them pretty rapidly, because that was their only source of income, and that income was gone. And it wasn't our fault. It wasn't anything that we could do. It was the powers that be, and we don't need to rehash that. But nonetheless, I had multiple income streams to where when one shut down, I had 3 more still coming in. So wealthy people don't rely on one singular paycheck. If you're living paycheck to paycheck, you just need to get into the Agoge and get into phase 3 and start learning financial mastery, and we can fix this. That is a system that people want you to be in. I don't want to go on a tangent, but that is a system that people put you in to keep you there and to keep you stuck forever. So your first goal is to build 2 to 3 income sources, whether it's even small or whatever it is, but you need to have multiple income streams. And that's what happens then is you start income stacking, and that creates financial security and freedom. And then you start creating that loop process, because you take that income, you secure it, you make it multiply, and then you utilize that income to make more income, and it happens. It happens over and over and over. And then you created a system, and that's how you become wealthy. So like, that's for me, like, I started making serious money when I stopped depending on one source of income, and I built businesses, and I created a bunch of different things that were gonna, whether it's partnerships, other companies, investments, whatever it may be. I created these income streams so that I protected my family. And I felt that it was like a due diligence thing that I had to do. If I really, really cared about my family and I wanted to make changes, then that's what I had to do. So here's an easy plan for you guys. All right. This is what you're going to do over the next 3 months. And you can do this in the Agoge. You can do this on your own. 1 to 3 months, learn a high income skill. Keep doing what you're doing. Keep working, keep clocking in, keep going that paycheck. But outside of that, you need to be doing all the stuff that I talk about in the Agoge in phase 3 with your budget and your knowing your bare ass minimum, et cetera. But adjacent to that, you're going to learn a high income skill. That's in the next 3 months, you'll learn a high income skill. 4 to 6 months, you're going to increase your income and start investing in yourself. Kind of like that cyclic method as well. Like, the more that your income is coming, the more that you're getting smart and you're learning the high income skill, and you're becoming better, right? You're becoming the asset. 7 to 9 months, you start building a second income stream. So you've got the first one, now you're building a second one, all right? Now in the 10 to 12 months, you're gonna reinvest, automate, and scale whatever that thing is. So again, this isn't about getting rich overnight. The get rich quick stuff, you will lose your ass 99% of the time. It's not gonna happen. But if you start applying these changes today, you're gonna wake up in 12 months and realize that you're no longer poor, stuck, or limited, that the opportunities are endless. So guys, I really want you to understand this, that it is you against you. The only thing standing in between you and your financial freedom and you and your family's financial freedom is your mindset. You have to shift your thinking and shift your actions, and your income will follow. Get rid of the limiting beliefs that's holding you back. And matter of fact, what I want you to do is I want you to smash the like video on this thing. I want you, if you dislike it, you disagree, I love it, hit the dislike button and let me know why you dislike the video. What do you disagree with me? I'd like to hear your point of view. But if you're not, and you're struggling with limiting beliefs, in the comment section, please put the limiting belief that you are going to drop today, that you are getting rid of, and put it in a positive affirmation. So again, hit that like button, subscribe to this channel, hit the little bell so you get notified when we make more videos, and then start building your wealth right now. And if you are struggling with limiting beliefs, there's a link below. I have a limiting beliefs course. I think it's like a 14 lesson course on limiting beliefs and how to rewrite them. And it's all inside the Agoge. The link's below. Join us. I'll see you in there. Peace. Hey guys, thanks for watching. I really appreciate that. Remember to like it. Remember to drop me a comment. I want to respond to it. I'm actually the one responding to the comments. And if you like this video, you're going to absolutely love this one right here.